I'll get kicked out. Okay, this is a meeting of the Joint Committee on Judicial Retention. It's January 17th, and we're in room 10 at the State House. It is 4:30. Because we are building a record, I want to just go around the table and everybody just state your name, so years from now, when people listen to the discussions, they'll know who's talking. So why don't we just start?
Thomas Oliver,
Representative,
Representative Thomas Oliver, Frank, Sheldon and Swanton.
Representative William Knott from Rutland City.
Senator Brian Collmore, Rutland County District.
Senator Dick McCormick, Windsor District, and I am chairing.
Representative Chip Troiano, representing Caledonia 2 District, Vice Chair.
Senator Martine LaRoque Ulick representing Chittenden Central.
Representative Angela Arsenault representing Williston.
And Senator Ruth Hardy from the Addison District.
Okay, our charge is to consider judges who have applied to be retained for another term. I don't think I have to cite the statute since I don't have it in front of me. That's what we're supposed to do. So let's, the meeting is called to order. We've done introductions. Let us review and approve the 2024 meeting schedule. So has everybody had a chance to look at it?
Mhm.
Are there any problems with that, or should we just? First,
Yeah, Eric's back with the opposite. Folks that had a chance to see the email I sent out after the consultation with Judge Zone. And evidently two of the three judges would have a very hard time attending the first committee meeting that if you look at your draft schedule is currently scheduled for Wednesday, January 24th. But they could all make it to a meeting on Wednesday, January 31st. But I think you might easily adjust this, because as I initially drafted this, I tried to build in a little extra time. Necessarily, one of those dates was Thursday, February 15th, for a second follow-up committee meeting with judges, which is highly unlikely to be needed when you only have three judges. And if for some reason you found out at the last minute that you would need one, there's room in there to try and schedule. But you already have one follow-up meeting scheduled for the previous Thursday, the 8th, so are you really gonna need two when there's three judges?
all right,
Highly unlikely.
so we could cancel that additional meeting,
Yep,
cancel the 24th and just slide everything one meeting forward.
exactly.
So meeting with the judges would be on the 31st, and that would move the public hearing to 2/8. Is that what?
Yes.
Okay,
So, Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I cannot make the 31st.
Okay, and you were very good about letting me know that.
Or the 21st of February.
Okay. If we slide around a little more, are other people gonna have problems as well? Because there is the option of simply saying that we have a member who maybe can't make, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
You could listen to, you gotta, I'm hoping, and I hope I don't jinx this, but I'm hoping it's gonna go smoothly. We don't have that many.
Mhm.
Can I, sorry.
Yeah.
So are we saying that we would not meet on the 24th and we would have instead moved to the 31st for the first meeting with the
I
judges?
think we're not there yet. I think we're just sort of.
But that was what Eric was suggesting perhaps.
Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have the problem of a member who cannot attend.
Okay.
And then there's that, so, let's see. Brian, what was the other meeting you had?
Well,
Probably.
I have another thing I have to be at 5:30 on Wednesday, February 21st. So I'm assuming that will take longer to
5:30 where?
Waterbury. But that's a meeting that we were going to deliberate, vote, and then So my guess is it probably will take longer than an hour.
Why don't we could do, so the judges couldn't do the 24th, right? Is that, there was two judges that could we do Thursday the 1st? As our first meeting with the judges? And then we can have Senator Collmore and maybe, hopefully,
How does that work? How does that work for you?
do the public hearing the following week.
Yeah, Thursdays are fine. It's just Wednesday nights that are an issue.
Do you have any idea, Eric, about other availability of the judges?
I don't, not for the, I know we're thinking of the first, I don't know if any of the representatives of the judges here would know, probably not off the top of their head, but.
They looked at this schedule, but not,
Yeah.
sorry, Jessica asked me to grasp group. They looked at this schedule, but they haven't considered first.
But if everybody, other judges only, I noticed just popped on, trying to see.
Oh. Can we get volume for Judge Zoning?
Hi, does that work?
Sort of, can we, how to? Say something.
Good afternoon, almost evening. Tom Zone, Chief Superior Judge. I thank you for your consideration of the judges' schedules. I know one had previously scheduled a vacation and the other is in the middle of a 4-day trial, and it would cause them to stop the trial in midday. I asked about the following week and was told that that would work for each of them. I didn't ask about the first specifically, but I don't have any reason to believe that the first would not be workable for all three judges.
So the vacation is over by that next day?
That's the vacation is until the 26th.
As far as February 21st is your problem,
Yeah,
right? Okay. What if we were to just slide the time up from 4:30 to 4? Committees don't always adjourn at 4.
yeah, I could probably make that work.
It's hard enough for me to get here at
Oh,
4:30. I
God.
mean, with an afternoon committee meeting, especially as we're gonna start having longer floor sessions, I'd rather not start any earlier than 4:30. But it doesn't look like we may not necessarily need the 21st. If we have the first, and then we have the public hearing the following week, and then we have if we have additional follow-ups, the following week, the 15th, we could also just do that week. We could do the deliberate and we could meet on Wednesday instead.
Or we
So
could-
that we're not all, because I think it's gonna be a problem if we have only Thursday meetings. It's gonna create a conflict with another Thursday meeting, but
It seems to me, and again, I hope I'm not jinxing this by being too optimistic, that on the meeting now moved to February 15th, follow-up committee meeting with judges, that we could include in that meeting, deliberate,
Yeah,
vote,
yeah.
and make reporting assignments.
Was that what you were suggesting, Senator Artie?
that's what I was suggesting as a possibility, but we still leave open the possibility of having to meet. And if we do have to meet because something has come up, we could do it on a Thursday, we could do it on a Tuesday, we could do it. Because that wouldn't require the judges to be there, so we can just do it with the 8 of us.
Yeah.
And staff.
To quote our,
We've got to find a day for the public hearing prior to discussion and vote.
yeah, well, that
The
works.
public hearing could be on either the 8th or the 7th, and it would probably be better to have it on.
Thursday, the 8th, but
Yeah.
works. I mean, I'm just sliding canceling the one meeting and then sliding the dates.
Well, I just think there are sometimes Thursday conflicts, Senator, that we don't want to have everything on a Thursday.
And of course, the one Wednesday we had is, it's a problem. What about, so instead of Thursday, the 15th, do Thursday, the 14th? Of course, everyone's gonna,
Wednesday.
Well,
right.
We would have the Thursday, the first, instead of Wednesday, the 24th as the first meeting, right? Because that accommodates both Senator Collmore and the judges.
14th,
Then we have the public hearing the following week, right? The
Yeah.
8th, either the 7th or the 8th.
Yeah.
I would say maybe we do it on the 7th. Make it a Wednesday.
How do people feel about that? Judge Zone?
Is that a problem for you, Brian?
I'm trying to find it. Every Wednesday from now until March,
You have a thing.
I have.
I have a.
Most of them were scheduled before I knew that.
Yeah, I have a thing on some Thursdays, so
Okay.
I don't want it to be every Thursday.
I agree.
We have-
I understand.
we break it up between Wednesday and Thursday.
So which day were we thinking on?
So 2/8 becomes the public hearing.
Yeah, okay.
I have to have that before we discuss and vote.
That's right.
Right, but I was suggesting since we're moving the other Wednesday to a Thursday, we move this Thursday to a Wednesday.
Which one?
Oh my gosh. We move the 8th to the 7th.
Not the 15th to the 14th. That was discussed.
The 14th, I'm gonna give up here.
Keep going,
Let's
you're
just
doing
be
great. Let's go
detailed in
through
our
the whole-
descriptions.
So I go through, but I think I have so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think, so if I'm understanding, discussion so far would be, the first committee meeting with the judges would be Thursday, February 1st.
Yes.
And then the public hearing would be Wednesday, February 7th.
Okay, we
And
can
then
do
the
that.
follow-up committee meeting with the judges would be Thursday, February 15th. And that would also include not just a follow-up committee meeting, but potentially the committee discussing, deliberating, voting and making your reporting assignments. Now, if for some reason at that meeting on Thursday the 15th, it became obvious that there was not enough time to do all that in one meeting, then have the week of the 21st to be able to add another meeting if you need it. But if you don't, then you don't need to meet on the week of the 21st at all. Introduce so that Wednesday, 2/21 date at least. Put it on the agenda.
Eric, go through your dates again. The first committee meeting with judges would be,
Thursday, February 1st.
Okay.
hold on. Thursday. Okay, then the public hearing would be,
Wednesday, February 7th.
No, well, again,
You won't be there.
I'm supposed to be in Barry at 7:15 on that day, on the 7th. But I
that way
don't,
with Barry at what time?
7:15.
I think we can get you there on time.
Well, not if the public hearing starts at 7.
Oh, that's the public hearing, yeah.
But I don't think it's critical that I'm there necessarily.
Right.
Maybe wait till that.
We have had public hearings that we've had just a handful of witnesses.
Should we
So
make it start at 6? Or is that a problem? Eric, what do you recommend for public hearings?
I think it's often been 7 so that it gives the judges time to get there after they finish court.
Oh, I see.
So maybe depending on where they are that week, maybe 6 will be okay. I don't think there's any logistical reason from your perspective that you couldn't do 6.
I'm more concerned about the members of the public and what is the best time for them. Judges can zoom in from wherever they are.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah,
it's probably better at 7, and you just have to do it with 7 people instead of 8. I really don't think, I can watch it.
You can watch it. Okay, and you can speed it up.
To the commercials, that's right.
Well, I mean, if there's only a handful, there have been times when we wait around because someone might come, sometimes someone does. It's a lot of dead time. Okay, so the public hearing,
Wednesday, February 7th at 7.
at 7 p.m.
And then what was that after that?
after that would be Thursday, February 15th. That would be the follow-up meeting with the judges. As well as.
Yeah,
Discussion and vote.
Right, exactly. And we would strike Wednesday, February 21st.
Right, we don't need it.
Keeping in mind that that week is available should you need it.
I need another meeting with the judge, yes.
And then the rest would remain the same.
does that work for everyone?
Fantastic.
Works for me.
Senator Hardy, does that work for you?
Yeah, that was a little painful, but sure. Thank you, Eric. You're amazing.
Okay, let us now go through this. Everybody read it carefully and make sure we all have the same understanding. Okay, so we,
No meeting next week.
we're having, this is the organizational, okay, so no meeting next week. On Thursday, February 1st is the first committee meeting with judges. We have both judges and magistrate judges.
And that would be at 4:30 or?
That will be at 4:30. Then the public hearing will be on Wednesday, February 7th.
Yeah.
At 7 PM.
Right.
And then on Thursday, February 15th, we will have the follow-up committee meeting with the judges, the committee meeting to deliberate, vote, and make reporting assignments. And then nothing on the 21st.
Sorry.
And then we have February 29th, well, everything that's already on here.
Right.
Okay, why don't we take a vote? I don't know if we need to, but let's take a vote. Well, I'll entertain,
I'll move that we accept those
Okay.
dates.
let's move.
I'll
that we
second the
accept.
motion.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chair votes aye. Okay, so we're done with that.
Eric, will you send us calendar dates that will populate our calendar? Or would you like us to put them in manually?
No, what I was gonna say was that I will draft a revised agenda and send it out so that.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry around the one that you just marked up for yourselves.
Thank you.
And I neglected, I should mention, we haven't met our new judicial retention committee assistant, Lindsay Schreier.
Yeah.
I should have introduced her.
But I think Lindsay is able to send you out calendar invitations so that everyone can monitor the calendar.
And we have already received our binders. Boy, it is a light binder compared to last week. It's good. Any further business?
I just recommend one last thing, you can circle over here earlier. You'll notice that the dates, as of yet, don't say what room they're in, because we hadn't finalized the dates.
Okay, yeah.
That's another thing that we'll work on, and hopefully the revised agenda you get out will have the rooms on that.
Okay.
I vote for this room if we can.
It would be good if we could always do it in the same room except for the public.
Mr. Chair, can I ask?
Yes.
So in the fall, I think it was Jess who reached out with some dates about video or court dates for us to observe on some of these judges. I never got a chance to go to any of them. So I'm wondering if we could request proactively some either court recordings that have already happened of dates of or dates that we could, I mean, given our schedules right now, it might be hard to get to actual live something, even via video, but if we could get some video access to previous court dates that we could watch if we, even on double speed.
You'd like to watch the judges who are before us?
Yeah, the three judges that are before us, I didn't get a chance to, I don't know if anybody else did in the fall, but just, because I know that might be take a little bit more time for you to get us something, but if you could for each of the three judges, at least a couple recordings of each of them.
Court administrator, we can certainly map out a calendar to show what the judges are scheduled for. Maybe we record, the WebEx, for example.
Oh, okay.
But I can check with Judge Zoe and the court clerks about the possibility of recording something coming up. I know it's possible to record, they just don't typically automatically record.
Okay.
But I can do that and maybe starting next week, to map out that and then figure out which ones we can record and do that option.
That would be great, because I mean, I'm not assuming that there are problems with any of these judges, so I just want to, you know, before I've read a thing about any of them, to just have the ability to observe them in the courtroom would be helpful, rather than doing it after the fact when maybe some concerns have arisen, so that it's equal for all of them.
Okay, would you even want, for example, I said next week, but do you want me to get their calendars for tomorrow and Friday?
Well, as you know, probably none of us are going to have the time to be able to watch them live, so it's going to really have to be a recorded
Okay.
thing, so.
Monday.
Unless it's a Monday, maybe that's a possibility that we could watch on a Monday. So if there are some Monday things that are coming up.
Mondays fill up these days.
Our Mondays fill up pretty fast, but that's the only day that we could probably watch anything. So I would say maybe a couple Mondays plus a couple recordings for each of them would be helpful.
Okay, we'll try to do kind of a variety, whether it's motion hearing, whether it's arraignments, whatever, just so you can have like a variety of recordings.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you.
I want to just throw an idea out, and I think, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't think it's time for a committee action, if any, on this, until I talk with Eric to get some legal counsel. I'm not sure what this committee's charge is, if we're within our prerogatives to investigate the question of whether or not the process of retention is the way, as good as it could be, and what changes might be in order. I know there's been I've gotten a sense from some committee members of discomfort with how we proceed. And I have often thought that, you know, I've made comment that these judges preside over due process, and yet they don't get to cross-examine the witnesses against them. They don't get to confront. They don't even know. These are anonymous comments, sometimes very few, and yet we make judgments based on that. And just if there are better, and just a question, are there better ways for this committee to do its work? And again, I'm not sure if that's this committee's job to address that question. It might be the job of the respective judiciary committees and the legislative bodies.
Well, 3 members of the committee introduced bills to make some changes in the statutory provisions related to the judicial retention process. I don't share those concerns that you just mentioned. I think that this is different than a courtroom. It's not a courtroom, but it's a job retention. And the use of the 360 reviews is pretty common in job retention, performance reviews. So I don't think it's the same as a courtroom, but I do think there are ways we could improve the process, and the 3 members sitting here all worked on a bill off session that would make changes to it.
So you would not like for the committee to take a.
I would be happy for the committee to talk about that bill. I mean, I don't know, you're the chair, so I think I don't know whether we should or shouldn't. I'm always happy to discuss the bills I introduce.
We can, as I said, I think not talk about the bill, this committee dealing with those questions. I want to make sure that it's our business to do that. I think it might be that we are given a very specific charge and we are limited to that charge. But well, Eric, you and I will talk.
Great.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Is there any other business?
Will we adjourn?
There's a motion to adjourn. Any discussion?